The Dallas Cowboys get it done on the road. Their first win in New Orleans since 2009, 27-17. The final score here on The First Word, presented by Dr. Pepper's. The Cowboys improved to 8-4 on the 2021 NFL season. Welcome in to the Star in Frisco alongside Nate Newton and Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. And guys, it was a defensive-minded win for the Cowboys. It's been a long time since you could look at this Cowboys organization and say, your defense can win you games. Well, they certainly did that today. 4 takeaways, all of which in the form of an interception, and really a great job all the way around. Dan Quinn stepping in as the interim head coach. What were your thoughts on how they performed in this one?
Well, you get an interception. You get an interception. I get an interception, and somebody else get an interception. They did a great job playing a great holistic defense. I think this is what we expected. We knew that there wasn't a huge passing threat with this quarterback, Taysom Hill, being at the threshold, and especially after he had his finger injury, it was even more so a lot easier for the Dallas Cowboys to go out there and play defense. Having their keys right in the backfield, there was no big threats, and once they took him away, took him out the game, it was pretty much a wrap.
You know, because I was thinking it would be a little bit more of a run game for both of these teams, but it wasn't. Teams tried to pass and do their thing, but once again, the defenses made plays. Their defense made plays. Our defense made plays. So it was an ugly game, you know, but defense won this one.
See, and that's the thing is a lot of people are going to look at this. A lot of Cowboys fans are going to look at this and say, this was an ugly win. I disagree. I think this was a defensive-minded win. Now, the offense might be a little ugly. It didn't look great for the offense on a couple of occasions. We'll address that. They've got 10 days to figure it out before they take on the Washington football team. But overall, I think you feel great about the way your defense played in this game. And it was not necessarily anything out of the expectations. This is not a very good New Orleans Saints team that has no weapons on that side of the football, or is without their top weapons overall. But what did you think about the defense and how they were able to kind of figure things out as it went along?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what I expected. I mean, this is kind of almost like a scrimmage. You don't want to say that against an NFL opponent, but these guys they've been through the ringer a little bit. They don't have all their top dogs, and offensively they're down right now. They don't have a solid quarterback that can throw the ball down the field. They don't have a lot of weapons on the outside. So you knew that they were going to have to run the ball in order to be effective. They tried their best, as Nate said. They tried their best to try to throw the ball, but after Taysom Hill injured his finger, that was pretty much negligible. I mean, it wasn't something that they were very effective doing. He still pushed through. He still fought, and our pass rush got after it. Those guys did a great job putting pressure on him and then taking advantage of those balls that they threw up there.
The fact is, no Kamara, no the 2 starting tackles was out. They knew what they had to do. They had to rely on Taysom Hill to run the ball. And at certain times they built up some momentum. But the coach himself, the play caller, great Sean Payton, said, hey, we're going to try to throw the ball. So the one time that they was in the game, down by 7, he kind of threw it away by trying to get this guy to throw a ball with a bad hand. And it just exploded on him. And our defense from that point got 1 interception. Another interception, and then another one. Watkins, number 91? Great hands, brother. You been on the jugs? What's up?
Hey, you got to love that. From a big man standpoint, getting the touchdown and working it through that direction. Now, let's talk about the offense a little bit. The run game really struggled to get off the ground. Really, the only sort of production they had on the ground was Tony Pollard's 58-yard touchdown run that he had in the middle of that third quarter. So what happened to the run game? Where has that been a problem, and who is to blame for the lack of ability to get the ground game rolling?
Well, number one, they hit 146 yards somehow, some way. As ugly as it was, they still hit 146, so that's a win. We haven't hit 100 yards in majority of our games this year. Zeke's hurt. He not. Let me take that back. Zeke is injured, okay? And I hope that the team does the right thing. Whatever is going on, we don't know about, and give him the time. Hopefully the 10 days is enough to allow for his body to recoup and get back to where he needs to be, because right now he is ineffective as a running back. He's a great blocker, and that's why you saw him on third down a lot. But in terms of this running game, aside from our guys getting healthy and being effective as a 1-2 punch, Kellen Moore has to find more creative ways. I feel like Kellen Moore was in his bag earlier in the season, and it's almost like he ate all the trick-or-treat. He ate all the candy. All the candy's gone, and now he's looking in there and he's waiting for the next Halloween to pop up. He has to get more creative and get back in that bag and present that to the team so that he can be that kind of offset like he was earlier in the year. Right now, I think teams are kind of keyed in on what he's doing.
I think what they have to do is continue to run. You don't have time to run in practice. You get better in a game. These guys have to run, even when it's not looking good, but you have to run the ball. And that's what we haven't been able to do. Zeke is hurt. We have a guy behind Pollard that I think is more than adequate enough to run the ball. Run the ball with healthy people. Give your offensive line a boost. Give your team a boost. I know, Zeke, you are a warrior, and that is great. But right now we need productive people that can gain yardage effectively.
And we've got plenty more coverage coming up on DallasCowboys.com, where we will dissect really the offensive line. We'll take a look at the passing game as well. But as we wrap up the first word, what does this win do from a confidence level standpoint? Now you get a 10-day period to take a breather, to rest up, get some guys back potentially off of injured reserve, or even guys like Ezekiel Elliott who just have these nagging injuries. How much confidence does this give you going into a stretch of games that most of which are against your divisional foes?
Well, this helps you to remind yourself as to who you were and who you were earlier in the season. This was the get your swag back game. I mentioned it earlier in the pregame show. This was the game to get your swag back, get things rolling again, get these turnovers going again, be a little bit effective on offense, and then go into this 10-day off period right before you get ready for this NFC East battles, going into the last stretch of the season, to start trying to position yourself for the playoff run. This is what you needed going into this last little bit, and hopefully that was enough.
I know for a fact, number one, it makes you comfortable in the NFC East. It's not the pressure there with Redskins coming down and breathing down on you. And what it does, it puts you at number 4 in the playoff race in the big scheme of things solidly. So long as you do that right there, you needed this win so you can solidify those two things. If you've done that today, get healthy, get rested. Zeke, get rested.
That's the biggest thing, is you got to get this run game going if you're going to have any sort of success down the stretch against the couple of opponents that, at least at the moment, do not have a over 500 record. There are opportunities for this Cowboys team in the final 5 games of the season to really make some noise in the NFC push. This was a big one, though, on the road at the Superdome. Here's a look at some of the final stats. They give up over 400 yards, but those 4 turnovers, huge for the Cowboys defense in their 27-17 win over the New Orleans Saints. Once again, we've got Cowboys post-game coverage coming up at 11 p.m. Central Time, but that does it for Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Thanks for listening to The First Word, presented by Dr. Pepper.